Hi guys, I wanted to go over how we are going to set up our stores on the PBIS Rewards app. So I'm on the website right now. Here's your homepage where you can reward students. On the left-hand side, you can see the shopping cart where it says stores. You will click there. You have the school store, which we're still working on right now. But my store is where you're going to do your personal classroom store where your students can redeem their points for your classroom items. So when you click on your store, you're going to have all of your items here. So here's an example of some things that I have in my store. For 10 points, they can choose a YouTube video to play at the end of class, choose songs, some tangible things like Jolly Ranchers, or DVDs, games, things like that. And also brag to your parents, 20 points a week on my couch. They can sit there by themselves for 25 points, work in the hall for 15 points. So here's some examples of things you could put in your store, but of course you want to make it personal to your classroom and things that your students would want. So how you add things to your store, at the top right-hand corner, you will edit your store and you have a way to add items. So the green button on the right-hand side will say add item. So you can name the item, whatever you want it to display as to your students. If you want to put them in categories like food items or privileges, things like that. Honestly, I did not make categories, so you don't have to. Price, how many points you want it to be. And if you want it to be inventoried, so if you only have like 20 Jolly Ranchers or you only want to give out 5 sit with a friend at lunch passes in a week, you can inventory. I'm going to let you know when you get out of stock or when inventory gets low. After you fill in all the information, you will save that item and it will show up in your store. You can add photos over here that students will be able to see and say if you want to get rid of an item, say this week you don't want to do that, you don't want to do the choose a YouTube video, you can unclick it from your list and students will not be able to see it. So here's where your items will show up. Of course, you can always edit these. And when a student goes to redeem an item, they don't buy it on their own. They actually come to you to buy something from the store. So if a student is buying a brag to their parents, you'll click on the item and check out. You'll click in the name of the student. Click in the name of the student. It'll tell you how many points that student currently has. So it's 20 points to buy this. The student has 54, so he has enough to buy it. I won't let them buy it if they don't have enough. And then purchase items would purchase the items for that student. If you ever need to refund a student, say they bought it or you sold it to the wrong student, you can also refund them items here, and you also can redeem other things here too. So this is how your store will be set up. The students are able to see how many points things are. They're able to see what the name of the item is in the picture. So I would make sure that whatever the item is easy for the students to understand. And we would like for teachers to have at least a couple items in their store by the end of this week before we go to fall break. So please play around with this and add a couple items personal to your classroom that would work for your students to your store by the end of this week before we go to fall break next week. If you need help setting up your store, please come to me or anybody else, Miss Hall or Miss Gentry, and we can help you set up your store. But please, by the end of this week, have at least 2 or 3 items in your store so students can start redeeming their points. Thank you.